Good morning, friends. Welcome. It is Monday here in good old central Illinois, and I'm at the doctor's office, well, actually labs, getting hopefully what my heart is dreaming of is my final blood draw to make sure that my HCG levels have come down all the way and that everything was okay and we can move forward with life. Wondering if it's been an ectopic and then not, and then yeah, and not sure. And it's funny when you know that there's a possibility of something, your brain plays little tricks on you. You feel all sorts of little things. You think, could that be rupturing? Could that be something? Am I gonna know? I did ask my doctor, I was like, if this thing is an ectopic pregnancy and it does happen to rupture, will I know? And he goes, you will know. I said, okay. So I don't have to question every little feeling and thing going on. So I'm really hoping that this will be the final countdown. And then I will be, onward and upward and just still working on making good, food choices, healthy food choices to kind of nourish my body through all of this, as well as exercising, which is so surprising to me at how effective exercise is, because I will say that I've felt kind of, lethargic a bit. I'm a pretty active person. My lethargicness or feeling not as energized is probably, doesn't seem that way to other people, but to me it's just like, I just am tired. And I don't have as much oomph about me, which bothers me a lot. So I'm wanting to do what I can to just keep my energy going and feeling good. I've got a week ahead of me because my brother's coming into town. He's from Minneapolis, and we're going to be doing some fun stuff. We talked about doing an escape room. We've talked about going to see Mission Impossible. 2 of the kids are having birthdays, so we're going to have a birthday party while Uncle James is here, and that'll be fun. And I don't know what else we're going to do. It'll just be a fun time. I'm looking forward to it. My brother typically comes once or twice a year to visit. Holidays if he can't come in July, but this time he got to come in July too, so yay for me. I'm gonna head on in because it is time, but I thought I'd give it a few minutes. You know how it is when the office opens and there's a big influx of people standing in line to check in? Well, I thought I'll just skip that and sit for a minute and let it kind of simmer down, but thankfully it's just lab, so usually I don't have to sit very long. But I'm going in, headed in. So come along for the day. We'll see what happens. I've got to get some homeschooling stuff done. We've been taking a big break meaning a couple weeks. That's a big break for us. And I don't like to take a lot of breaks because I can see how when we get out of the routine, it kind of messes with our minds and our emotions. Maybe not mine, but some of my children, they have a hard time getting back into the groove of things. So if we can just keep it at least a couple times a week, that's very helpful. And we needed a break. It's been a summer. It's been a couple of months of a lot, and having this break is just nice and refreshing. Oh, so much so that makes me yawn. So we're going to organize that today and hopefully kind of go through the toys a little bit. I have an organizing system that is working really well for us, and I thought I would share that with you. I, as a mom, have been organizing toys for many, many moons. And then I was a nanny and I helped with those organizing. There's a lot of different ways to organize toys, and I've had my different thoughts about it, but I feel like my most recent organizing adventure has been the most beneficial. Not necessarily the most beautiful, but the most beneficial. And I'll share that with you because I think if you're a mom or a person raising children that have toys, you can understand the problem that toys can be. They're good, and then they're special. They're frustrating at times. But I think I've come with a good plan. So I'm going to show that to you. And yeah, let's go get a blood draw. Come on. I worked on the basement. I will show you that. And I had some lunch, a salad after I had a nice bowl of pasta. And I wanted to tell you this Lily's chocolate that I bought the other day. Sea salt, extra dark chocolate. Delightful. I like the saltiness of it. I wasn't sure, but then I was at the same time. It's very good. It's not bitter. I like it.
Can I taste? What does it taste? Can I taste it?
Yeah. It's chocolate. Just a little bit different. What do you think, Zion?
Where's it from?
It's from the store.
If it was from M&M.
It's from M&M? No, it's not from M&M. Do you like it?
Yeah.
She took a nibble and she says, yeah, and then she set it down. Here, you don't want it? You all done? I'll eat it for you. Kind of hits the spot. I like it. I got a lot done downstairs. I still feel like there's a lot to do. I've been putting it off for a bit. I keep telling myself, you know what, when you go to bed, Megan, before you go to bed, spend like 20 hours working on it. You'll get it done. And then I get to putting the kids to bed. Marky and I put them to bed. And then I'm just like, let's go to sleep. Yeah, that's a good idea. So it's nice to take today to work on it. I needed to get that done and cross that off my mental checklist. You brought me food?
It's all the game.
Oh, thank you.
Lemon, burger, lemon. I brought all the stuff for you.
Oh, thank you. Welcome to the basement where all the things are kept. The previous owner, like 2 ago, made this into sort of a craft room, and it has worked out really well for organizing things. I'd say I'm pretty blessed with the amount of storage that is down here in the basement. And I just decided to bring everything down, organize it how I want it to go. And I'm gonna show you my system. It's nothing special. And then show you also the toys, because that's actually a part of my homeschooling that's important. We use that to occupy children that are not being schooled at the moment, because you know, with 5 kids, even 2 kids, it can get a little bit hairy when, you know, there's not something to do, but I don't want all the toys upstairs. That's just not gonna work for me. So let me show you what we've got. First of all, if you're new to the basement, here is the cabinets. It's wonderful. Then over here by the door are more cabinets. So over here houses predominantly toys. On the other side, predominantly school stuff. Okay, over on the left, because I just like to start on the left. We're using All About Reading for the kids. I've got one going on to the second one, and then I have another child on the first one. So everything is here. I'm keeping things, and I'm keeping them in some sheet protectors so that I can just reuse the pieces. There's cutouts and stuff like that, and I just don't want to keep doing that every time. Plus it costs money, so why don't we rinse and reuse? Then we are using All About Spelling, and I love All About Spelling. I felt like I learned a lot, and that helps me to be a better teacher and a better all the things. So everything that goes with All About Spelling is there. I am going to get a larger whiteboard and put that upstairs. I need more space for the magnetic tiles, which are really helpful. Oh, and I did label them, and unfortunately, while I was labeling, my labeler broke. So I gotta get a new something or another. Right next door, we've got books. This year we are going back to Sonlight after we finish up with all of our Simply Charlotte Mason history. I enjoyed it. It's very family oriented. You can, you know, go up, go down for whoever is in your whatever age group, you know, that you're working with. But I just love Sonlight so much. It's what we've used from the very beginning. And I've taken breaks here and there. So I just went for it all back in. This is Sonlight A. That would be kind of like first grade. I've got all of the instructor's guide stuff over here. Then I have Sonlight B as well as the instructor's guide inside of here. So we're just doing the history, Bible, and literature for that. I'm going to have 2 of the kids actually are going to come together for Sonlight A. The great thing I think about Sonlight is that it can span several ages. So even though maybe it says it's first grader-ish, it really goes beyond first grade. I feel like the readers, everything. You just make sure that you've got math for your specific child and you have the readers for their learning levels, and you can just go up or down to make it harder, to make it more challenging, to make it less challenging, whatever you gotta do. Okay, so we won't be using B this year, but it's there for when we do. Next to this one is Sonlight Pre-K. I love Sonlight K. This is our original one we've had since the very beginning, and it has a lot of sentimental value to me. Up here I have the kindergarten stuff for Zion. She's been working on that. And then I had to move her copy worksheets and all of that from the notebook I had it in, so I do need to buy another notebook to house all of that. All right, over here is Sonlight C. Up above is nothing, and that's a good thing to have nothing because you just never know. I am going to need a 3-ring binder for the instructor's guide, so I need to make sure I get enough 3-ring binders. If you were on my other channel and you saw my Walmart back to school video, they have sets of 4. Oh, well, they have sets of 4 3-ring binders. I'm probably gonna go that route. Next to that one, I've got Sonlight D, and I have some books coming. I bought some actually off of my friend Brandy from Oso Farms. If you know her channel, she has lots of adopted children and has a channel about all that. She's got a homestead, so she's pretty cool. I like her a lot. But anyway, she's used Sonlight and she's sold me many books so far. So those are coming in the mail. So I'll have the rest of those. I've still got to get the instructor's guide and we'll be set. Israel's gonna do D this year. This is for like American history part 1. And then down here below is E, and he'll use this next year for part 2. Okay, in the very last one, I've got math up here. We use Math UC, which I love. And then I have kind of like handwriting and using language well as like their grammar through Simply Charlotte Mason, which I actually really enjoy. Then down here, I've got Simply Charlotte Mason history. And then over here is our extra, I can't think of the word right now. We're doing like habit training, and we've got picture studies, and we've got nature studies are right here, and Shakespeare. All of that is right there. Down in the drawer back on the other side, I'm keeping some extra notebooks for the boys. They're gonna need those. And then we've got some paper. We have sheet protectors. Over here is our art. And then the other art things. We're doing a channel, I'll link it in my description box. It is a channel where she teaches the kids how to do stuff. It's amazing what children can do when they are instructed how to do art, because I am not artsy, but man, I feel like I am when I watch the videos. And then we're gonna be learning crocheting, and I've got crochet hooks there. Okay, how about the toys? So what I have been doing is bringing like 3 to 4 sets of toys, which I'll show you what I mean by that, upstairs. In the morning time, I have like a laundry basket. I just grab it all, you know, dump the dirty towels out of it, whatever. And I grab that and I fill it up, and then I bring it upstairs and I set it in separate little spots around the room. And at the end of the day, we clean it all up and I put it away. And then we do something different the next day. I think having that different is good. It makes sure that you're playing with the toys that you actually have. It gives you an idea of what do my kids really enjoy playing with. It helps you to reduce, to minimize, because I'm all about that. And it also just gives them something to stay occupied with and enjoy while you're working with other children. So I've had these things organized so many different ways, and I will say that the way that it's organized, I don't visually like it, but I like the way that it is. And everything's very categorized and everything goes together. And I did a huge purging recently. I'm always minimizing, but when I got serious this last time, I was like, seriously, what are we playing with? What stuff keeps getting thrown to the side that nobody wants to play with because they're trying to get to the other thing? And I really got serious about it, and it has helped tremendously. It's so easy to pick things up, so easy to put it away. It used to take me like an hour and a half if I was doing it, because it's just one of those weird things I like to do. I mean, the kids help clean up all the time, but when I'm doing a massive organizing, leave me alone, let me put a show on, the world's right. This takes me 20, 30 minutes, no time at all. It's brilliant. So, ready? Megan, stop talking and show us. Okay, got it. Door number 1. All right, so they have this little picnic table. They used to have food items with it, but those always got just thrown around, so I got rid of them. Don't tell anybody. And then down here are the farm. These are going to be like the little people sets. And then I have the bus, and all the little people pieces are right in this bag. I got these off of Amazon, and I can link them below. They help. They're zipping, opening, and they're strong material, but you can kind of see through them. So there's category number 1, little people, farm, bus. Over yonder, all the puzzles are here. I went through every single puzzle that we had. This was full. And I figured out the ones that were 1, played with, 2, had all of the pieces, and 3 were doable. You know, sometimes you have puzzles that are just like, something about this is not fun. We got rid of those and we reduced. And so when I bring up toys, I also bring up some puzzles and different ones, and it's great. Up yonder is Play-Doh, and right now we don't have any fresh Play-Doh. I do know that I can make my own, but it's not happening. So I will be buying some more in the near future, but that's all the pieces that go with it. And I actually probably want to minimize that eventually, but I'll just take the whole thing upstairs when it's time. And then down here, this is all PJ Masks stuff. They have the little ship, boat, whatever it is. I don't know what it is. Plane headquarters. And then all the pieces that go with it. Down here are magnetiles, which are played with often and very loved. And then down at the bottom, this was, I don't know, different stuff, but it all goes together. And then we have the My Little Ponies in that bag, along with some of the toys that go with this. Like there's a bathtub and a little baby carriage and all of that. So all of that goes together. When we go upstairs to play with it, all of those go with me. This stuff is paint and watercolors. Down here, just kind of crafty stuff. I'm not overly crafty, so I keep it minimal. But then these are water wow books that we love. You fill the little pen up with water, and then when you rub it onto this, color comes up, shows the picture, and then when it dries, it goes away. And the kids really, really like that one. Over here, they can build flowers. They can play with worms. I'll show you the little worms. They have magnetic tips on them, so when you put them in the hole, you can use this little bird to pull it out and feed the bird. It's pretty cool. Blocks and Lincoln Logs are in this basket. I'd probably just pick one of those. Down here is like a random house and then a car. Those are Gabby's dollhouse pieces, so really anything can go with that little house and car, but that probably gets played with how it is, just like that. Yeah. Random costumes up here that I don't want the kids to play with because they're in really pretty good condition. We can just reuse them for Halloween. It used to be in a bucket, but then I needed the bucket for something, so it's not there anymore. Random stuff. These, I'll show you in a minute, go with the bucket of little stuffed animals that they like to play with. So, you know, the puppy goes in here and into this one, and then there's a bug catcher back there. Down here we have trains. And then at the bottom, I don't know if you have seen these, the little critter sets, and I hope to get more of those someday. So this is the owl set that we have, and we also have like chairs and whatever that are over by another doll set. So that'll all come together upstairs. After we leave the cabinets, we come over here and we have stuffed animals in this bin, and we have dress up clothes and anything that goes with dressing up down here. So I would bring one of the bins, like this thing with those little doggy, you know, carriers or whatever, and that would be one little station, or the dress up clothes would be a station. The baby dolls are being loved right now, so they have the stroller, they've got the baby doll stuff, they have the bed. That would all be a little section on the day that we pull that out. We have a barn, and Nola has lined up the animals, right?
Yeah.
And the fencing and all of that. So that would be another set, and those are all in these little zip up bags. Yes, there it is. And we have another little doll. We have a lot of houses, but they all have different pieces to them. So over here are the different pieces that go with this house. We have a car fun thing and a bag full of cars that can go down it. And then we have a dinosaur that you can shove dinosaurs into. So a big thing of dinosaurs with the dinosaur. And out here, I do actually bring this entire thing upstairs. And there's probably a better way that I can reduce some things, but they do get played with, so it doesn't really seem necessary, right? But the kitchen set is out of that room, and it just goes upstairs, and we have fun with that. And then occasionally I bring up the little princess house too, probably whenever we feel like it, really, whenever we think of it. Over here, I have plans to use this little 5-star zipper upper thing. I think it has 7 subjects in it. And this is going to be for each of the kids so that they can be a little bit more independent. Now, Zion, she won't be very independent because she'll need me for pretty much everything. But the older kids have certain areas where they can just go ahead without me. And that means that kids aren't waiting around. And if they have questions, they just wait until their turn. So I'll be putting their subjects in there. And then on the front, I'd like to use that as a weekly schedule kind of a thing. I don't really like to go much further out than a week. Really, even a week is more than I like, just because sometimes, like for math, if they're doing really well in one particular lesson, I don't harbor, I don't go over and over and over it. Like we just move on to the next thing. And if they need longer, then we take longer. So I can't always foresee that, how that will go. But I think just having a week at a glance and then redoing it for the next week is doable, and I'll be doing that. So each of them has their own, and I think that's a great addition to our year. I'm looking forward to that. Here's how it kind of goes in the morning time. So there's a little station over here with the flowers and the worm and bird.
And the ponies.
Noli's got her ponies and the things that go with the ponies. And then I brought out puzzles. There's like 5 different puzzles in there. They're Gabby's dollhouse puzzles. And also, ooh, that table's really dirty. Don't look at it. And then the blocks for a building. And they can bring them out of this room, but if they start in here, that's a good idea. Just keeps everything kind of contained and fun. Right, Noel? Yeah.
I'm getting a flower garden.
Beautiful.
That looks like a flower.
Yeah. Legos are happening in here. I guess that's a new station. Ezra wanted to bring them down. So we pour them on the blanket and then pray that we don't step on them in the meantime. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, wanted to give you an update. I got my blood draw, like I said at the beginning of the video, and I saw there was an update on we have like a health app type thing from the doctor's office. And it came up that my numbers went from 291 the last time to 118 this time. And I have stopped bleeding, which is awesome. 15 days of that. Thankfully, that's over. But my numbers still haven't gotten all the way to 0. So I don't know what the next thing is. I did not get a call from the doctor, which is kind of odd. So I don't know if I'll get one this afternoon, maybe, just to say, check it again in a week, or I don't really know. So it was not my last blood draw, I'm imagining, but I can't be for sure. I don't know. I'm gonna wrap this baby up. So onward to the next big adventure. I don't know what will happen next, but that's okay. The kids are watching some Mr. Beast while they eat lunch, and I just thought I have a real quick second. I'll come chit chat with you. Anyway, you guys have an amazing day. We got more school to do today. We got a lot of school to do today. It was hard getting back into life and working through everybody's emotions. It is emotionally taxing after we take a big break, and that's why I just don't like to take those breaks. It's hard to get back into the groove of it, but sometimes we need it, but it's hard. So we get through the hard times, and then we have a weekend, and then we pray that the following Monday will not get less. Okay. Anyway, guys, have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Before I sign off, the doctor did just call back and did confirm that my numbers went down to 118 for my beta I can never say that. My beta HCG. So they're gonna wait 2 weeks this next time to make sure that's happiness. Don't let it fool you. They'd like me to wait 2 weeks to get hopefully a final blood draw to make sure it goes all the way down to 0. So we shall see. 2 more weeks. It's only been going on since May. Oh man, we can do it. It'll be into August, but that's hopefully the end of it. So you guys have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.